Hello and welcome to Skill Builders, where we give you just the information you need to build a new skill. Today we're going to be working with Microsoft Excel and working with functions, specifically the VLookup function. A function is a formula that contains specific variables that tell Excel what calculation to perform. An example of a common function would be the sum function. Today we're going to talk about a very useful function for looking up information from various tables in your spreadsheet. And that function is the VLookup function. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let's take a look at what the VLookup function really looks like and what it entails. The formula reads like this: VLookup, open parentheses, lookup value, comma, table array, comma, column index number, comma, range lookup, and then the closing parentheses. Now, the purpose of this VLookup function is to find information from one table, or look at information from one table, find it in another table, and then give you back some additional information. So using the information that we have here, we have our little table here with our sales guys and gal, and what their goal was for the month, what their sales were, and were they over or under the sales goal that they had. So now what we would like to do, as indicated here in column E2, is we would like to calculate their award rate. We'll have a preset formula that will calculate the amount of the award. And then the last one, we will also use the VLookup function to calculate what message they should receive in our spreadsheet. So down below, and this would be in another part of our spreadsheet, we have our over-under goals. So these are the areas that we're going to be measuring. The rate that we will pay out, the award rate, and then the message that we'll use to calculate that last column in column G. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's begin looking at what each of these functions are, or what each of these variables are in the formula. The first one is the lookup value. Now the lookup value says we want to find this value in our table, which is down below. So that's what that variable is. The lookup value is what do you want to find. The next variable is the table array. And the table array is what information, what table contains the information you want to look through to find. The next is the column index number. This is the column that contains the information we want returned from our formula. So with our formula, we're going to want to see how much over or under they are with their sales goal, and we're going to compare that to the first row or the first column in our table. So when Excel finds the match, like in this first one, it's $5, it'll find the match here in row 24, and then because we're telling it we want to find the information in column 2 of our array, it will return this 2% rate. So that's what that is. Now the range lookup is a very interesting thing. The range lookup tells you if you want to find an exact match to the variable or an approximate match to the variable, and that's a key distinction. The default is true. So if our over-under here in column D2 was 4, using the true or the default value, it would return this 5% goal, which is what we want. However, if I have a more detailed table down here, I may want to use the false variable, so it would only find 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever that exact match was. So for today's purpose, we're going to go ahead and just use true because we want an approximate match to our variable. Okay, so now let's go over to Excel and we'll take a look at how the formula actually works. Okay, now we're in Excel. Let's take a look at actually building the formula and how that will work for us. So we have our same spreadsheet that we were looking at a minute ago. So I'm going to go here in column E4, cell E4, excuse me, and let's start the formula. So we'll go equals VLookup, and you'll see Excel will populate that for me. So I hit my tab and it tells me what my variables are. Again, just like we talked about, lookup value, table array, column index number, and range lookup. It puts those parentheses around, or the brackets around range lookup to tell us that it has a default already set. So if we leave it blank, the default will be true. So that's what those brackets are indicating to us. So our lookup value is going to be D4, and we're going to hit our comma there. Now it's going to ask what our table array is, and I've gone in and predefined my table, and it is award table. You'll see it right there, award table, so I'll hit tab and get that in there. Now, the column index number. Now again, that's the information that I want returned from the lookup function. So I'm going to say column 2, because again, column 1 is A, column 2 is B. So I'm going to just go column 2, comma, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the true variable just so you can see it. Hit my closing parentheses, and there we go. It returned our 2%. So if we look down below, our $5 over under is correct, and it does give us our 2% goal. Amazing. I love it when things work like they're supposed to. All right, so now let's calculate our award. So we'll go equals how much we raised, and we'll just multiply that times our award rate, and that'll give us that answer. And then our comment, we're going to use the same VLookup function again to determine what our comment is. So we'll go equals VLookup, and our lookup value now is still the $5 because that's our variable that changes every month. So we're going to leave that one there, comma. Now, the table array will stay the same, so we're going to go award table. There it is. And now our column index number. Previously, we selected column 2 to get the rate. Now we're going to select column 3 to get the message that should show. So we'll go column 3. And then to show you that you don't need to put in that last one, I'm just going to put in my final parentheses and hit enter. And there is my above goal. So now we can copy that down. We're going to have to do some formatting here real quick. So let's do that real fast. We'll hit our little format painter and away we go. And then we're also going to have to go in here and reformat those to percentages. And now now our table looks like it's supposed to. So now if we come in the next month and we say Sally had a bad month, she was out cold with a cold, now we'll see that her number changes to below goal. Tom had a great month. He went there. Ron continued to be a stellar performer, and Jane struggled that month. So we'll just say Jane met her goal that month. Now, you'll notice that we have the award amount here is NA. That's returning an error. That's because we don't have an approximate for Ron with the 15. Oh, I put too small. Yeah. I don't have an approximate value that represents that 95. So I would have to either expand my table to accommodate that, or I would have to do something a little different with my formula. So if I change Ron back here to 115, then it meets like it's supposed to. You can see the formula up here. VLookup D4 is my, what do I want to see? Award table is where it's found. I want the result from column 2, and I want to have an approximate match. So there you have it. The VLookup function. Very useful to find information in various parts of your spreadsheet and bring it back in and do some calculations for you. I'm Jeff, and this has been Working with Functions in Excel. For a more detailed look at working with functions in Excel, visit our website, cetrain.isu.edu, and visit some of the more in-depth classes that we offer. Until next time, keep learning.